Hi, my name is Kyuri, and welcome to your 30-minute yoga series. Today's focus is going to be tight legs and ankles and just everything lower than the hips. And we're going to utilize a yoga strap today. So if you don't have one of these, you can utilize a belt or a exercise band or anything that you have that can help you reach your toes a little bit easier. So we're going to actually start on our backs today. So grab your prop, whatever band or strap that you have, and then just slowly lower yourself all the way down onto your back. Once you become reclined, you have a couple of different options. You can extend your legs fully if you feel like that's most comfortable for you. But if you have SI joint pain or anything like that in the back of the hips, you could bend the knees, bring your feet nice and wide, and then just gently knock the knees in towards each other. And that's going to give the back of your hips a little bit of space. So once you settle down in the position that best suits your body's needs, take a couple of breaths to help set the tone and the pace of the practice today. Think about filling yourself with a big breath in. Maybe taking a pause at the top before taking a nice long exhale and letting it all go. We'll do that a few more times. Take a nice big breath in. Gentle pause at the top. Big exhale, let it go. Really good. One more time, big breath in. Take that pause at the top, and then a big exhale, let it go. Good. If you are exhaling out the mouth, seal the lips, and then just inhale and exhale out the nose. Try to maintain those nice long inhales. That's going to help us get through. So when you find your next inhale breath, you're going to just take a nice big breath in, reaching both arms all the way up overhead. And if your legs are bent, extend through the toes. Point through them, reach in opposite directions like you're doing a full body stretch. And then gently relax on the exhale as you let it all go. You're gonna slowly bring your right knee into your chest. Give that knee a nice big hug in towards your ribs. And just to help open up into the hips a little bit too, you're gonna take that knee, bring it out towards your right armpit. Just give yourself a nice big hug there. With that left leg, do your best to try to keep that nice and straight, and then push that left calf into the ground so that your right leg has something to anchor against. Maintain those nice long breaths. Good. And then on your next inhale, hold on to that knee with just your right hand. Just make some big circles with that knee. You can use your left hand on top of your left hip to help keep that hip nice and stable on the ground as you make those big rotations. And then have the knees go in the opposite direction as well. Beautiful. Once you have that, you're going to change the grip. So now you're no longer holding onto the knees, but to the back of the thighs. And then you're going to just a nice warm up in a dynamic movement. So on your next inhale, relax the leg. And then on the exhale, give it a nice big straight. So you start to feel that nice big stretch through your calf, maybe the back of the knees as well as your hamstring. Inhale, relax. Exhale, extend. Good. Inhale, relax. And then exhale, extend. Good. One more time like that. Inhale, bend. And then exhale, extend. Good. And then on the next inhale, bend the knee, relax the leg. And then this time grab the strap, make the loop into in that strap if there isn't one already. And then just loop that around the widest part of your foot. On the next inhale, you're going to extend the leg all the way up towards the sky. And then think about taking the leg away so you're not quite feeling the stretch yet. So if you're not flexible, it could be all the way over here and that's totally okay. Everyone's going to be different based on their flexibility level. So for me, I'm not quite feeling it here. It's about maybe 10% sensation. So I'm going to hold it here for the inhale. And then try to maintain that nice straight leg and then just bring it onto where you feel about 70% sensation. So you're working that hamstring a little bit more. Inhale again, release it back, relax. And then exhale, bring it in. Good, we'll do two more just like that. Inhale away. Exhale, bring it in. Good, last one, inhale. And exhale, bring it in. Good. So we're going to hold that there, maybe take away just about 10% of that stretch. And then you're going to inhale here. And then as you exhale, you're gonna start climbing the rope high enough to where you can lift yourself up and touch the toe before coming all the way back down. Good, inhale here. Exhale, climb the rope. Tap, and then bring yourself back down. Beautiful, inhale here last time. And then exhale, climb the rope. Good, give it that tap, and then bring yourself all the way back down. Beautiful. One last big stretch. And then exhale, release the leg. Bend that knee, release the strap. Good, and make some big circles with that knee to help roll things out. Good. Now we're gonna work on the inner thigh just a little bit. So we're gonna do the same thing, just like we did when we laced the hands behind the thigh and we did that dynamic stretch. Now we're gonna have it come out to the side. So have your left hand on top of the left hip. You're gonna bring that right knee over towards the right while still hugging that right thigh with your right hand. So on your next inhale, you're gonna hold there just as you are. And then as you exhale, start to extend the leg to your capacity, whatever works. Good, inhale, bend. And then exhale again, extend. Good, we'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, bend. Exhale, extend. Good, last one. Inhale, bend. And exhale, extend. Good, gently bring that knee into a bend again as you find that inhale. Gently bring that knee back into center. And then again, loop the strap around the widest part of your foot once more, and then extend the leg straight up towards the sky. Good. So rather than opening out to the side, what we're gonna do is we're gonna focus on that outer leg and that outer hip. You're gonna feel tightness in your IT band as well as the side of that hip, especially if you do a lot of cardio, running, walking, cycling, anything like that. So instead here, you're gonna take the hold of the strap with your left hand, take a nice big breath in. And then as you exhale, you're gonna bring it over to the left, only as far as it'll go comfortably with your right hip still making contact with the earth. You'll feel a nice long stretch happening all along that outside of that right leg. So breathe here nice and big. Good, 3 more breaths. Beautiful, final 2. So good, last one. Good, as you bring that inhale back into the body, you're gonna bring that leg all the way back to center. Give it one last big pull, and then gently release that leg completely. Good, 1 more round of big circles. And then you're gonna gently plant that foot on the ground. Good, you're gonna bend your left knee and bring that to bend as well. And then you're gonna just gently bring your feet and your knees together. And then you're gonna tuck your upper back shoulders underneath so you have a nice flat platform to work against. And then on your next inhale, have your heels close to your hips. And then inhale, lift the hips up nice and high. Exhale, hold it there. Good, keep squeezing the knees in towards each other. Inhale again, lift a little bit higher. And then exhale, lower all the way down. Good, we're just gonna do that 1 more time before we go on to the left side. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hold. Inhale again, squeeze and lift a little bit higher. And then exhale, roll it down. Beautiful. You're gonna take that right leg and extend it all the way down towards the ground, and then hug that left knee into the chest. So start hugging that knee into the chest really close, and then have that right calf anchored down towards the floor, flexing your right toes towards your face. And then just find that gentle holding sensation through your thighs. Good. Once you've done that, gently bring that knee out to the side, bringing it towards the left armpit. As you create a little bit more space through the hips. And take 1 more breath right here. Beautiful. You're going to bring that knee all the way back to center. And then you're going to switch the grip so both of your hands are laced behind the back of the thigh. And then you're going to inhale here. And then exhale dynamically. Extend the leg up towards the sky on the exhale breath. Good. Inhale, bend the leg. And then exhale, extend. Good. Inhale again, bend the knee. Exhale, reach it long towards the sky. Good. And then last one, inhale, bend. And then exhale, extend. Good. Gently bend that knee on the next inhale. Take that strap, take that loop around the widest part of your foot, and then slowly start to extend that leg back up towards the sky. But again, we're going to start off nice and easy. So take that foot away from the body until you only feel about 10% sensation through the leg, and inhale here. And then exhale, bring it in a little bit closer so you feel about 70% more sensation. Good. Inhale, bend. Or relax and pull away. And then exhale, bring it in. Good. Inhale. Away. And then exhale, bring it in. Good. Last one. Inhale, bend. And then exhale, bring it in. Good. Now you're just going to take away about 10% of that sensation, but keep it pretty tight so you're still feeling that stretch through the hands. Take a nice big breath in here. And then as you exhale, slowly climb the rope and tap before coming all the way back down towards the earth. Good. Inhale here. Exhale again. Pull yourself all the way up. Tap. And bring yourself back down. Good. Last two. Inhale, climb the rope. Tap. Good. Back down. Last time. Inhale, climb the rope. Up, tap. And then gently bring yourself back down. Good. Gently release the strap as you finish up that round. And then make some big circles with that knee. Good. Allow the circles to go in the opposite direction. Beautiful. And then take your right hand and hold on to the top of that right hip as you take that left hand and bring it to the back of that left leg and bring that knee out to the left side. So on your next inhale, you're going to hold it just as is. And then as you find that exhale, extend the leg. Good. Inhale, bend the knee. Exhale, extend the leg. Good. Inhale, bend the knee. Exhale, extend the leg. Good. Last time, inhale, bend. And then exhale, extend. Good. Gently bend the knee back into the chest. And then take that strap one last time. Bring that loop around the widest part of your foot. Extend that leg up towards the sky until you feel that bit of a stretch to that hamstring. And then hold on to it with just your right hand. You keep your left hand on that left hip crease, so keep that left hip on the ground as you take that foot and bring it over to the right hand side. Maybe about 4 or 5 inches, only as far as it'll go as your left hip stays down. You'll feel this stretch happening through your IT band, through the side of the hip, as well as the side of the leg, depending on how tight you are. Breathing nice and big here. You got it. 2 more breaths. Really good. Last one. Gently bring that leg all the way back to center. Give it one last big hug. Ooh. And then gently release the strap. Bring both knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice big hug. Good. And then you're going to switch your grip to the back of the thighs. You're going to tuck your head and chin and neck up towards your knees. And then you're just going to rock forward and back about 3 or 4 times before you can come all the way up to your seat. And then once you do, you're just going to rotate yourself all the way around and make your way to your hands and knees. Good. So we're going to find our cat-cows here, getting our spine into the party and into the mix. So have your knees stacked right underneath your hips, your hands slightly underneath your right underneath your shoulders, but slightly rotated open if you're tight through the traps. And then on your next inhale, drop the belly, lift your tailbone as well as your gaze, broad through the chest. And then as you exhale, push the earth away, dome the top of your back, tuck your chin and tailbone underneath. Inhale again, drop the belly, lift the gaze and your tailbone. And then exhale as you round it out. Chakravakasana. Start moving at your own pace, at the pace of your own breath. Notice what still feels tight. Notice where you might be carrying tension. And just check in with the body as you move. Gently come back into a nice neutral spine. And then we're going to come down to elbows, giving your wrists a bit of a break. And then you're going to take your right leg and then extend it all the way behind you. Keep your toes on the ground and then just gently push back into that heel. That's going to really help open up into the calf as well as the ankle. So breathe nice and big. Good. 2 more breaths. Beautiful. Last one. Slowly shift your weight back forward, relax that leg, and then you're going to come to the other side. Left leg extends all the way back, gently push back into that heel, keep your left hip low, push back, breathe nice and big. Final 3 breaths. So good. Last 2. Really good. Last one. Good. Gently shift the weight back forward and then drop your back knee. Come back up to hands and we're going to find our first downward facing dog. So find your plank first, extending your feet forward or your arms forward and your legs back. Find that plank position first. And then from here, just send your hips all the way up and back into that downward facing dog. Pedal your feet left and right a couple of times to really help open into the lower legs. Good. And then whenever you're ready, take a look forward towards the hands. And then take those small steps. So take like a half step with your right foot and straighten that leg. And then take another half step with your left foot and straighten that leg. If you're tight through the hamstrings, you might have to come up onto fingertips, and that's totally okay. But keep stepping forward and straightening. And then another bend and step. Straighten, bend, step, straighten. And then keep going until your feet meet your hands. Once they arrive, you're going to take a nice big forward fold. Bend your knees a lot to start. Grab opposite elbows if that feels good for the lower body, for the upper body, and then just sway yourself side to side. So having bent knees will help to decompress your spine a little bit more than work on those hamstrings and legs. But don't worry, we're going to move dynamically into them as we go. Good. We're going to keep the knees nice and bent, and then we're going to release the arms completely with those bent knees. Take a nice big breath in. And then as you exhale, pull the belly in, support your lower back, and then slowly rise all the way up, rolling the spine up 1 vertebrae at a time until you come up to standing. Good. Once you come up to standing, what you're going to do is you're going to grab a block. And if you don't have a block, it's not mandatory. It's just a nice prop to utilize because it helps give you that felt sensation of really squeezing from your outer thighs. So this is where we're going to be. So if you'd like to utilize the block, place it right in between your thighs in the narrowest position and make sure that it's not bugging the knees and it's like staying right in between your thighs. So once you have that, I'm just going to face this way to make it a little bit easier to see. And what you're going to do is you're going to inhale, reach the arms forward, and you're going to sit all the way back into a chair pose. So this is a position that you'd like to find. And then instead of having your pelvis tilted backwards like this, think about tucking the pelvis forward and then sitting nice and low, and your knees aren't really going past the toes, they're sitting nice and far and back. So from here, take a nice big inhale. And then as you exhale, swing the arms all the way back behind you. Good, we're gonna work into our ankles a little bit. Inhale, rise up onto your toes, nice and slow. And then on that exhale, slowly drop your heels like you're bringing them down on eggs. Good, inhale, sit a little bit lower. You should bring the arms forward again, find chair pose. And then exhale, come all the way up to stand as you release the arms. Good, that was round 1. We're gonna do that a total of 4 times. So on your next inhale, find chair pose. Exhale, arms back. Inhale, rise high up on the toes. And then exhale, drop the heels nice and slow. Inhale, sit a little bit lower, bring the arms forward. And then exhale, come all the way up to stand. Good, that was number 2. Number 3, let's go. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, arms back. Inhale, rise up to toes. And then exhale, ground the heels. Inhale, reach the arms forward, sit a little bit lower. And then exhale, come back up to stand. You got it, we got 2 more. Inhale, chair pose. And then exhale, airplane wings. Inhale, come up onto toes. Exhale, drop the heels. Inhale, arms forward, sit low. And then exhale up to stand. You got it, last one. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, arms back. Inhale, high heels. And then exhale, bring them down slow. Inhale, chair pose, arms forward, sit low. And then exhale, come all the way up to stand. Ooh, feel that burn a little bit. Release the block, shake out the legs. Really good. And then you're gonna bring your feet about hip distance apart. Stand up nice and tall, long line of energy through the crown of your head. Take a nice big inhale, sweep the arms all the way to the sky. Exhale, forward fold, let it all go to the ground, but this time bend the knees a lot. Good, so this is where we're gonna incorporate a little bit of a deeper hamstring stretch. You're gonna grab opposite elbows the best you can, or even just grab wrists behind the calves, and you're gonna start with bent knees. So drop your head completely, no extra tension there. You're gonna inhale here, and then as you exhale, straighten the knees only as far as they will go comfortably. You'll feel a big stretch through your shoulders as well as the hamstrings. And then inhale again as you bend, relax. And then exhale again as you extend. Really good. We'll do 2 more like that. Inhale, bend. And exhale, extend. Good. Inhale, bend. And then exhale, extend. Good. Last one. Inhale, bend. And exhale, extend. Good. Gently release the grip of the hands behind the legs. Good. And then gently turn the toes out to the sides and widen your stance a little bit until you can slowly come into that yogi squat. So if this yogi squat is not accessible to you because you have ankle tightness or hip tightness and things like that, the block is a really good resource for that position, so it's easy to sit on. You can adjust the position as much as you'd like. You could also stack 2 blocks if you feel like you need that kind of support. Once you have that, you're just gonna sit up nice and tall, bring your arms to the inner thighs of your legs, and then use that to gently push the knees out to the side, sitting up nice and tall to find your nice long breaths, helping to open up through the thighs. Really good. We're here for 2. Beautiful. Number 3. Really good. Number 4. Beautiful. Last breath. Number 5. Really good. Inhale here. And then exhale. Gently release. Bring your knees back together. Good. You can give your legs out a nice big shake and give them a shake out. If you are sitting on the prop, you want to lower yourself all the way back down towards the ground. Good. And then have your hands all the way behind you as you bring your knees up to 90 degrees on both sides, and then just gently rock your knees side to side. Excuse me. Beautiful. So once you're finished with those 90-90s, we're going to take care of Janushirshasana, which is our one-legged forward fold. So what you're going to do is you're going to have your left leg forward, Your right foot is going to come in with a bent knee. And if you'd like support with that knee, you can definitely have the support right there. And then just flex the toes back towards your face. You're going to take that strap and you're going to take it around the widest part of your foot, especially if you can't quite reach the toes, so that you can really anchor your shoulders back, finding a nice posture through your spine, and then maintain that. Imagine someone strapping a board against your back. And then from there, you're going to gently just hinge forward, almost as if you're trying to get your belly to touch your thigh before your forehead ever touches your shin. So keep pulling the feet back. You'll feel a nice long stretch through that leg. Really good. 2 more. Really good. Last 3. Final 2. Really good. 1 more. Good. Gently lift yourself back up after your 5th and final breath. Good. You're going to release the strap if you did utilize that. Extend the opposite leg nice and long. Take that block to the opposite thigh if it did need that support on the other side. And then same thing. Have your butt a little bit more behind you than underneath you. Think nice flat spine, rolling your shoulders and elbows back if you have that ability. And then utilizing the strap if you can't quite reach the feet. Same thing. Hinge forward from the hips as you lower yourself down. We just want to avoid this as much as possible. So think flat back. Pull the belly in, supporting your lower back. Breathe nice and big. Really good. 1 more. Good. Gently lift yourself all the way back up after that final breath. Gently release the strap. Good. 1 last time. Bring your feet and your knees out nice and wide, taking them side to side. Good. And then you're going to extend the legs out nice and long. And then take your arms forward before slowly lowering them down all the way towards the earth. Really good. Once you arrive, you're going to take both of your feet and bend your knees as you bring your feet onto your mat. You're going to cross that right ankle over that left knee, and then just gently start picking up that left foot off the ground until you can lace both of your hands behind that left thigh. And then just gently hug that your left knee into your chest as you keep rotating that right knee open out towards the side, away from you. If you're feeling any tension in that knee, flex that right ankle to help support that joint, and just breathe nice and big. Good. 1 more breath here. Good. And then gently release that left leg back onto the earth. Uncross that right ankle over that knee. And then just take both knees side to side to give yourself a gentle rock before you come onto the other side. Whenever you're ready, left foot is going to stack over that the right knee. And then same thing, slowly start to pick up that right leg towards you as you use your hands to gently lace the thighs. You can also utilize the strap if that grip is unavailable to you. And then just have that left knee keep opening away from the rest of the body and flex that ankle to help support that knee joint if you're feeling any tension there. And again, breathe nice and big as you send your focus all the way down into that left hip. And breathe here for 5. Good. Last breath in and out. Good. And then gently release the legs back down towards the earth. Uncross that left ankle once you've finished. And then again, last time, take the hips side to side, or take the knee side to side. Help open up into those hips. Good. So today we're going to end our position in our Supta Baddha Konasana. So with our knees nice and wide and open. Again, if this is really uncomfortable because your hips are really tight, please utilize the blocks. Set them up at whatever level you need them to help support the knees so that the gravity isn't all consuming. And then however you set yourself up, you can bring your arms out to the sides. If you feel like you need a little bit of emotional support today, maybe one hand over the heart, one hand over the belly. Otherwise, you can bring your hands out to the sides, palms facing up, so that you're in a very, very open position to receive anything that you might need for yourself this week. So as we stay in our Shavasana, our final resting place, contemplating how the practice went for us today, how the body feels, how the legs feel, or the feet, the ankles. Sometimes we forget our lower body carries us all day, every day. It helps us see the world and explore it. It helps us move. It has the capacity to make us feel very comfortable with our lives or very uncomfortable, depending. So we must take care of our lower body because they do so much for us. They support us all day, every day. So as you check in with your lower body one final time, invite one last big breath in, filling yourself with anything that you might need. Followed by a nice long exhale as you let it all go. Take these final moments to observe the thoughts and just to let go and be. So we take one last moment with our thoughts, checking in one final time. We'll invite a nice big breath in, filling ourselves up. Followed by a big exhale, open mouth as you let it all go. Utilize the support of your hands to gently bring your knees back together. Allowing your feet to go nice and wide so that your knees can go down in one direction and then the other. Gently allowing us to find a counter from that big opener that we just had. Before allowing a full body stretch if that calls to us today, extending through the legs and through the toes as you reach both arms up overhead, finding that full body stretch. Noticing any space and length that you might have felt and created through practice. And then whenever you feel ready, gently bringing both feet back onto your mat, bringing your knees into your chest. Rolling over to your favorite side, coming into that comfortable fetal position, allowing us ourselves to reset for the rest of the day. And then whenever you feel ready, utilize your hands to help support your spine as you come all the way up to your comfortable seat. Find that nice easy cross or whatever a comfortable seat looks like for you today. And take one hand over the heart, one hand over the belly. Invite one final breath, full breath in, followed by a full breath out. As we find gratitude for our bodies, this practice, thank you so much for allowing me to guide yours today, from my heart to yours. Thank you so much for flowing with me, and I hope to see you at the next one.